Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, listen, let's start this off the way it should be. I want to be able to do a check in, but I have some important news that I want to make sure that I share with you. But you got to stay tuned to listen. You ready for the conversation? Let's go. Hello and welcome to the Focus on Greatness podcast. I am your host, Hiram Roche, also known as HR. And as always, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to be able to be here with you, my greatness tribe, and have these conversations. I wanted to take some time really to do really like almost like a check-in. And because we have went throughout this year, we literally are at the end of November, about to walk into December. At this pace of time, some of us should already be looking towards 2025 and what we're going to be doing and the things that we have planned for our next year and how we want that to look. We should also be looking at some different pieces of how we want the rest of this year to end. Some things that we need to be able to complete, some things that we need to be able to put together. But one of the things that I wanted to be able to do in this check-in, in the midst of those thought process, is I wanted to be able to think about, I believe almost at the beginning of the year, we had a conversation. And really in that conversation, it was us being able to walk in this context of our greatness, as well as being able to understand that there are certain things that we have planned that we want to accomplish in 2024. As we started this year, I told y'all I did not want to end my year the same way that I ended 2023. I wanted my year to be totally different. Which in some sense that thing has happened. My year has changed. There are a lot of different changes that has happened in my life, a lot of different adjustments that has happened in my life and in throughout this year. And with those changes and with those adjustments, there's a lot of other things there are things that I wanted to accomplish. There are some things that I shared with y'all that I wanted to be able to accomplish this year. There is one thing in particular that I wanted to accomplish, but some different reasons of why I might not be able to. Let me not shut it all the way down, but I might not be able to accomplish it. But I will make sure that I accomplish it in the beginning quarter of 2025. But there are some things that I said that I wanted to do, some things that are going to take me out of my comfort zone, some things that I wanted to accomplish, that some stuff that I have been kind of working on, but never really walked in. This year, I wanted to go after those things. And one of the things that I was sharing with us is that no matter what you have created, no matter what you've planned to do, no matter what your goals are, no matter what your dreams are, aspirations, and the things that you want to go after, the reality is throughout our journey, there are going to be things that happen called life. There are things that are going to happen that kind of adjust your time frame. There are going to be things that happen that are out of your control. There are some things that are in your control and there are some things that's not. And some of the things that are not in your control, when those things happen, when those scenarios happen, we have to be able to learn how to make adjustments. And in those adjustments, we make the adjustments for the purpose of being able to still accomplish our goals, still accomplish our dreams. So I want to be able to ask you this question. Where are you with the stuff that you said that you wanted to do in 2024? I'm talking about at the beginning of the year when you were hyped and excited. Where are you with those goals? Have you accomplished the things that you wanted to accomplish? Have you achieved those things? Have you made the adjustment? If you were wanting to read a book, some books this year and a certain amount of books, did you do all the things that you wanted to accomplish? If you say no to any of those contexts, if you're looking at and going back and dissecting your year and being able to say, okay, these are some things I wanted to do, but I actually didn't get the chance to accomplish those things, then we have to be able to sit down and examine our own selves to be able to realize and understand why. Is it because of the adjustments? Is it because you had some low moments, which I've had throughout this year? Is it because you just lost track of time or you lost track of focus? Focus on the stuff that you wanted to achieve. What is the reason why you were not able to accomplish the things that you went after? And then ask yourself this next question is, do I still have time to accomplish it in this year? Do you still have time? Again, we're in the month of November. We are about to hit, this is Thanksgiving week, and I know all of us as families is coming together and all these different things that we're planning, and that is wonderful. And I want you to spend time and enjoy those moments because everybody doesn't have those moments. I want you to also be thankful for the things that you have accomplished this year. I want you to be thankful for the things that you've been able to grow through this year, the stuff that you went through that did not break you this year. Like, I want you to be thankful for all of the many things that you were able to accomplish this year. And while you're going through all of those things, be thankful for the people that God sent your way that helped you and gave you tools and gave you the lessons and gave you memories and gave you moments that you won't be able to make up again, that has helped you in your journey. Be thankful for all of the things. If the scripture allows us to be able to understand that God takes the good, the bad, and the ugly and being able to make it work all together for the good of those that love him and are called according to his purpose, then we have to be able to sit back and be thankful for exactly what God is doing or has done, or situations that have happened, because all of the things that we have went through, all the stuff that we are personally might be even going through right now, is used for a purpose to get you to where you're supposed to go. So I'm thankful, even though it hurts, I'm thankful. Even if it's hard, I'm still thankful because these things are helping me in the journey. And in the process of going through all of that things, I want you to then focus and say, I'm so thankful for everything that I've been able to get through, go through, walk through, achieve, not achieve. I'm thankful for all the pieces that I want to make sure that I take advantage of the last 30 days, the last month that I have in 2024. I want to take advantage of the time and accomplish the things that I did not accomplish, either because, again, I lost focus, either again because different things happened in my life. Whatever the scenario of reasoning of why, go after your goal. I want you to make sure that you go after the thing that you desire. Go after the thing, because no matter what happens, and we talked about this earlier part of this year. I might actually go back and post that one again so we can be able to just hear it. But one of the things that we talked about is, in this context, this year, we're not letting us down. I'm not talking about you not accomplishing the goal because you're not you pushing to accomplish the goal because you're trying not to let them down. No, this time I don't want you to let you down. I don't want you to feel that you're lying to yourself. Not that you're lying to people about the goals and the things that you wanted to accomplish that you never did. No, I want you to not lie to you. So I want you to push yourself for the remainder of this year to be able to accomplish the things that you said that you wanted to accomplish in the beginning of 2024. Now, I am saying all of these things because one of the things for me, for I would say, I want to say about 3 years, for about 3 years or so, I have been working on something. And I have took my time, as you can tell. 3 years is a long time for me. I kind of took my time with developing it, and I knew where the thought process came from. I knew where the passion came from. I knew where the idea came from. And as I was creating it and putting it together, and allowing people that are very, very close to me to kind of look over it and make sure it looked good, and all of those different pieces, and sounded good, and whatever, like it flowed the way I wanted. With all of those pieces, I'm sitting here debating every time, like, do I want to do this? Will people like it? Will people not? Will people accept it? Will they not? Will they get it? Will they not? I'm going back and forth. And in this year, as I stated to y'all, I made it up in my mind that this year, again, I wanted this year to be different. And one of the things for me to make that different is kind of like pushing myself and getting out of my comfort zone. This bubble that y'all think, or this life that I have, and it's in some form of sense, some of this is uncomfortable. Being able to share certain pieces. I'm a very, very private individual. So being able to come and share some intimate pieces and give you some things in reference to some struggles and things that I have, sometimes, I mean, it's good because it needs to come out. It needs to be communicated. But sometimes it can be uncomfortable when you feel like certain things that you're trying to achieve or certain things that you're doing or whatever that is, or the mind space and the head space that you're in at the time, you feel like you might not be qualified or good enough to be able to do whatever that is. But what happens when you have a desire? What happens when you have this dream? What happens when you have this goal, when you have this thing that you are trying to achieve? And in the midst of you trying to achieve that, your own fear, which we talked about, your own fear starts speaking to you. What if they don't do? The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, the fear of being able to, not please people, the fear of people, and all these different fears, the fear of failure. What happens in all of these contexts? And one of the things that we talked about, I think it was in First Timothy, when Paul is talking to Timothy, he tells Timothy, listen, be not afraid. Don't be afraid. Listen, I need you to understand there's nothing for you to be afraid of, but this is what I need you to do, because God has not given unto you a spirit of fear, but he's given unto you power, love, and a sound mind. He's given unto you the things that you need to be able to walk in the gift that God has already given you. The only thing you have to do at this point is get beyond the fear. Actually jump out there. So this year, one of my goals, specifically with what I'm about to share with you, was to be able to kind of just jump out there. Being very honest, it was very fearful to be able to even just accomplish it and do it in general, but to be able to know that this is something that I believe that is going to help people achieve their goals, help people go after their ambitions, the things that they have, that they believe that they're desired, they're called to be able to do, the assignments that they have on their life, from, small things to grand things. I believe it doesn't matter. I believe the principles and the things that God gave me to put in this is something that I believe is going to help at every level. And so let me just go ahead and just throw it out there so you can be able to see and know what this is. I finally completed my book. Yay! Everybody clap. Yay! Exciting. I'm very, 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 very excited that I completed and wrote my first actual book. And the book is entitled Start with the Finish in Mind. Just to be able to kind of give you an understanding of where this came from. It came from this idea of, there was a season where trying to walk in this context of being an entrepreneur and, went to different seminars and went to different things and got this understandings and these educations and got a chance to be able to communicate with different people at different levels that were trying to go after their own businesses and own dreams and talking to people that wanted to accomplish such great things. But what I realized is that there wasn't a conversation per se that was happening that was giving people some real principles in this aspect of that they needed to start again with the finish in mind. Like, what is the actual goal? What is the actual dream? What are you actually wanting to achieve? How does that actually look? Not just as a conversation piece. Oh, I just want to do this. Well, what does that look like though? Like, just for example, when somebody says, I want to be happy. Well, what does that look like? What does happiness for you look like? It looks different for every person, right? But if you don't understand or know what that picture looks like, then you really don't know what you're going after. You really don't know what you're trying to achieve. You really don't know what you're really chasing in this essence, right? So the context of starting with the finish in mind gives unto us this idea of being able to have this picture of where we're trying to go, and then in its basis form, now creating a plan, creating a structure where you start from the end and walk back to where you are, to where now you can create steps and things that you need that will help you to achieve the goal that you're trying to go after. Now, this is not just one of those books. Now, the book specifically, I believe, is for those that are like freshly trying to go into entrepreneurship, or people that just have a goal. They have a dream that they're trying to achieve. This is something specifically that I believe can be able to help individuals in different forms of level. If it's goals that you're trying to achieve, if it's a business that you're trying to create, if it's a dream that you're trying to accomplish, whatever those categories is, I believe that you can use this structure of this book to be able to find what that is and being able to create a blueprint for your life and then being able to walk it out. Now, in understanding what the book means, I understand this context that in the midst of you creating all of these pieces, in the midst of you starting with the finish in mind, in the midst of you creating this plan and being able to lay out everything you need, there are going to be moments where you're going to have to make adjustments. There are going to be moments where you're going to need to have patience with yourself and patience with your dream, because it's not going to happen overnight. Yes, you will have the plan, but you got to work the plan. My uncle, the late Charles Anthony Tedder, used to say, you got to work it. Like, you got to put in the work. This is not something that is going to happen overnight. It won't work if you don't work it. That's the concept. So you have to be able to put in the work to be able to see what this whole thing looks like. But if you do not have an idea, if you don't have the vision to be able to see the clear picture, I believe that's in the book of Habakkuk, where it says, write the vision and make it plain so them that are running can be able to read it. Meaning you can be able to read this as you're moving in motion. I don't need to sit still so I can concentrate. I should be able to have a picture, a clear picture that I can see this on the move. So we need to be able to have this idea. We need to be able to have this vision in our minds and then being able to walk it out. And I believe, start with the finish in mind. This book will be able to help you to do that. Again, it doesn't matter if you're walking into entrepreneurship, if you're just trying to accomplish your goals, if you're just walking and trying to do a dream, like if it's just you trying to build a good relationship, I believe it can help you in every category of your life. So where can you get this? You can get this book specifically on Amazon. And it's really not that expensive, but I believe that the investment is going to be worth your dream. I believe that the investment is going to be worth the goals that you're trying to achieve. And I believe that this is something that will be great for us to be able to have. And in 2025, my goal is to start walking us through this, being able to take some time to build this together. But we can't build something together if you don't have the materials. So I want to make sure that you push and get this book. Go buy this book. Again, it's $19.99. It's only basically $20. And you can get it from Amazon and you can be able to walk through this. Now, I will say you this. It does have some things that you have to do, like homework assignments. What is the purpose of that? The purpose of that is specifically, I want to make sure that you and I are taking out time to be able to write it out. Sometimes just being able to read something and trying to just create the picture in your head is not strong enough to give you that foundation. Sometimes you got to write this thing out old school, like being very honest. Sometimes you need to be able to see it before you. And so I made it where there are certain homework assignments, and the ideal was at the end of the whole entire book, when you get to the end of the book, with all the homework assignments that you have done, which is not a lot, being very honest, but when you're all completed, you will have a great plan on how to go after your dream, how to go after your goals, how to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So I'm only doing this because we have been walking in greatness together. And we are going to be people of our words, not just to the individuals we speaking it to, but also to ourselves. And one of the things that I said to y'all, one of the things that I promised myself in this year is that I wanted to finish this book. I've been delaying it. I've been having all the excuses of why I didn't want to finish it, why I didn't want to release it. There is so many different reasons of why I was not doing what I should have done. But the reality is at the end of it all, what makes this all important is that I chose in this year. I'm not going to lie to myself. If I say I'm going to do it, succeed or fail, I have to make sure I accomplish it. I have to finish it. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I didn't just want to come on here and just talk about the book. The book is wonderful. I want you to buy it. I want you to be blessed by it. I want your life to be changed by it, all of those things. But most importantly, I want this book to be an example to say, you can achieve your goal too. You can achieve that dream too. You can go after that thing too. It's not that difficult. Yes, it might come with challenges. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it might come with some times where you just want to quit all of it together. I get that. But you have to recognize and understand that your word to yourself is more important than you quitting. Your word to yourself is more important than you giving up. This word for me is vitally important for me to do this. I'm doing this, yes, for me. I'm doing this for Hiram, but I'm also doing this for my boys because I need them to be able to see that if your dad said he wants to do something and you know how fearful it is and you know the challenges that he's facing in the midst of all of these things, if he can still go after his goals, so can you. So can you when it comes to your schoolwork. So can you when it comes to if you wanted to go to college or if you wanted to do whatever you want to achieve, you can do it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy all the time, but it will be worth it in the end because the change that will happen in your life will be extremely important. But then most importantly, the impact that you will make on other people's lives will be something that will last longer than your life. And that to me is vitally important. I have been blessed to be able to be around men and women where their impact has lasted longer than their life. And that's what I want, honestly. At the end of it all, I want to make sure that the work that I do, the things that I'm saying, the people that I'm encouraging, and the things, the lives that I'm speaking into, and all the stuff that God has put on my heart to be able to create, to be able to bless people, me being able to do these things will leave a major impact into the lives of the people that I was supposed to touch. Where it starts is me doing this for Hiram. Where it goes next is me doing it for my boys. Where it goes outward after that is me doing it for y'all. I want it to impact the lives of people. I'm not just doing this just to do it. I'm not just doing a podcast just because it was a cute idea. No, I believe that this is a tool that God has given unto me as an assignment to do. Because there are people that I'm supposed to impact. There are lives that I'm supposed to speak into. There are people that are going through right now that has dreams, that have goals, that have things that they want to accomplish. And they're trying to figure out why isn't it working or why isn't this happening? And just really they want to just give up and quit. But don't. I understand why you're there. And I've been there several times. Even when it comes to this book, I've been there several times. But at the end of the day, we can do this. We can push through this. We can accomplish our goals, our dreams, our desires together. So I love you all. And as always, thank y'all for everybody that has supported me, everybody that has continually watched, listened to the podcast, shared it with a friend. I just want to say thank you. And in advance, everyone that will purchase this book, which is, I believe it will be the first of many. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for every supporter that has supported this podcast for over these years that we've been together. I love you all. And I'll see you next time right here on the Focus on Greatness podcast. Bye-bye.